In this video, we are going to be talking about a widespread severe weather event that will be making its way across a good portion of the East Coast, including the northern southeast, the Appalachians, mid-Atlantic, and the northeast. The risks today include an isolated tornado or two, straight-line damaging winds, and heavy downpours that may cause flash flooding in the area. Hello everyone, welcome back to your latest weather update. Right now we're actually seeing we have relatively thin cloud cover, which is being observed across much of the region as this morning and including now at noon. Low-level moisture advection and daytime heating will actually combine to increase instability throughout the day. We're going to get to that right now. Latest instability here is supplemented with other factors here. We'll give us some severe weather by this afternoon. Show you some very high Cape values here, possibly reaching 1,000. I think I just saw right there. Right about around 1,000 there. We can possibly get up to here in South Jersey. There's certainly a chance for some severe storms later this afternoon, possibly a squall line. It's going to be very widespread here, reaching all the way into the southeast and all the way further north, possibly to the northeast, possibly even a New England area. So we're certainly going to get affected here in southern Jersey as we have these very high Cape values here. I'll also get to the other variables here in a second. So those are the Cape values for today. Now we're just going to head a little more south, and I'll give you guys a little update on what's going on there. So showers are actually currently lifting off towards the northeast throughout northeastern Maryland right about now. But we actually have a break in the precipitation, which is very evident here on the radar behind these showers across much of Virginia and western North Carolina at the moment. But as we go further to the western area of showers that has actually popped up from eastern Tennessee up through eastern Kentucky, southwestern Virginia, and even southern West Virginia. These showers should actually continue to lift northeastward within their southerly flow aloft over overspreading areas west of I-81. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about when I say the southwesterly flow we have in place aloft. Is actually upper levels of the atmosphere. You can see that a lot of this moisture here is really being pushed northeast. You can see the way the jet is actually set up. We have a very big ridge over here over the southwest, and then a very deep trough here and across the eastern Midwest here, getting into the southern plains. So what this trough is actually doing, it's actually creating a southwesterly flow, mainly in the upper levels of the atmosphere. This is actually around the surface. You can see it's actually still has a southwesterly flow, but the moisture is more in the upper levels right now. You can see it's really just transporting this moisture from the Gulf all the way up into the northeast, where we're going to see some severe thunderstorm development. You can see we have up to 70 knots here in portions of the eastern Midwest here, up into the Ohio Valley. So a lot of this moisture getting transferred up into the mid-Atlantic here. This is only one of the factors that will cause some thunderstorm development by later today. Like I said, this shower activity will actually last throughout the day, even into midday, into early afternoon hours. This should actually limit daytime heating and embezzlement destabilization to the west of I-81. As a result, subsequent thunderstorm development isn't really expected in these locations this afternoon, and not much in the way of severe weather is expected in these locations. Despite substantial cloud cover, some daytime heating is actually expected to ensue to the east of those showers from I-81. Now this southwest and northeast motion is aligned roughly parallel to the initiating boundary and follows the wind with nearly unidirectional southwesterly winds in place downstream of a trough to our west, as I just mentioned. So like I said, we have to have these factors in mind here, including this recent run here of the high resolution reflectivity radar, even in NAM as well, are all depicting these thunderstorms to really enter the area around 5-6 o'clock in the afternoon. You can see we got some development here, almost in a squall line formation. But as you can see, they're really just popping up throughout the afternoon, very widespread. They don't really appear to be that severe here on the radar, but trust me, taking all these factors into consideration here, it will not take long for you to understand that these will be very severe, especially around the mid-Atlantic and northeast. It's actually where I'm located here in South Jersey. So I'm really looking forward to these storms. I'm very excited. I really hope we get something today, so I'll be able to record it. Very looking forward to that. But we do have a fairly strong signal for heavy rain across the northeastern Maryland, across that area, even in southern Jersey, this afternoon and into this evening. Especially northern Virginia, northeastern West Virginia, really all across Pennsylvania. So like I said, we're going to be moving northeast. So if we see some developing storms here in northeastern Maryland, they'll surely make their way over here to southern Jersey, even central Jersey as well. So I'm sure we're going to get some severe thunderstorm development because Cape values are even higher here in Maryland. They're also really in that path They're also really in that path here of the moisture that's going to be funneling in. So I really do feel we're going to get some thunderstorms today. Possibly some flooding. We're going to do some of those rainfall totals that we're expecting here in a minute. But with these deep moist profiles and precipitate water values in place, it actually makes sense that these storms can be very efficient in heavy rainfall producers. I'll actually show you the quantitative precipitation forecast right here in the next 24 hours. This is what we're looking at, guys. Actually, this is going to be the next 24 hours here collectively. And we may actually receive nearly an inch of rain here, possibly an inch or two. Like I said, especially it's going to be even worse here as we track more south into the upper southeast here. Portions of North Carolina and Virginia, they're also going to be receiving a lot of these severe thunderstorms as well. So very widespread, guys. Yeah, possibly you can see over here 2 inches, maybe getting up to 2.5 inches in some of these areas in eastern Virginia, that Virginia Beach area. Going to be getting slammed with some thunderstorms later this afternoon. But here in southern Jersey and Maryland, this whole area, what we call the Mid-Atlantic, really going to be seeing an inch, maybe up to an inch and a half. I'm not really, maybe not even an inch. So we're going to be worse here as we get closer to the shore. We may get an inch, but as we go more inland into Pennsylvania, we may not even reach an inch. Here we may reach an inch here in southeastern Pennsylvania, but nothing really more than an inch. Like I said, there's going to be higher rainfall totals as we track more southwards. We have more of that instability set up. It's already reaching 1,000 here, surface-based instability values or Cape values. They're even higher as we move more south, and they also have extra ingredients we'll get to in a minute, which can relate as to why we're going to get some of these severe thunderstorms, possibly even more severe than what we're going to receive here in the Mid-Atlantic. Like I said, also these fast storm motions could be an inhabiting factor for flash flooding as well. It's going to be very rather fast moving, so they're going to be dumping rain, heavy rain. So if we do get flooding, it's most likely going to be flash flooding, which is a very dangerous, life-threatening as well. These aren't going to be very slow-moving storms. They're really going to be in and out throughout the nighttime hours. Although we may actually get another line following through by tomorrow morning, Friday morning. Not quite as severe as what we're going to see this afternoon, but can still dump a lot of rainfall, only supplementing to what we're going to see later this afternoon. So flash flooding or just flooding, flash flooding and flooding will definitely be possible. There actually is a bit of concern growing regarding flash flood potential in the Northeast, especially in northeastern Maryland as well. Really along the I-95 corridor. However, we like to see more temporal continuity and guidance before we actually consider such a, this flash flood watch. The threat for severe thunderstorms still looks to be there though, so we're gonna have downpours, very blinding rain, very low visibility. So it's gonna dump a lot of rain, very high winds as well. So both of those factors combined can actually lead to the result of fallen trees, scattered debris as well. So you really gotta watch out for that. That's why it's really better to stay at home with these kind of thunderstorms. Just wait it out. That's the safest thing to do here. Now, you actually heard me mention winds and flooding. I'll actually go to the 4th panel here, what we're looking at today. The Storm Prediction Center outlook. This is today's categorical risk here. You can see right now we're actually under a slight risk. If we actually magnify here and zoom into our area, you can see here that really South Jersey, where I am in central South Jersey, this is actually risk 2 out of 5. We're actually going to go more in depth of what the risks are today and what we're really expecting according to the Storm Prediction Center. So this is the 4th panel here. Like I said, we're in a slight risk. This is a very broad method of telling us what the risks are going to be, because it's really taking all these risks collectively and then really combining it into one on a scale of 1 to 5 here. And this happens to be the slight risk. So we're really going to look more in depth here of what the risks, what different risks we're expecting today is. They are. Here's a tornado outlook. We're only at 2%, so very low tornado possibility here today. Although still possible. The ingredients are more prone to just severe thunderstorms, very high winds. Although wind shear really isn't too great. Instability is quite high. That may actually be one of the reasons why we have a 2% chance here for as far as tornado possibility. But although in total, with all the other factors taken into consideration, we're not really looking at the high risk for tornadoes. We may get an isolated tornado too, maybe a couple tornado warnings. Wouldn't surprise me if we see some rotation in the clouds today, but overall a rather low chance, relatively low compared to other severe weather events. Here at a hail outlook, we're really in the clear here in the Mid-Atlantic. It's mainly going to be bad here in the upper southern plains or the eastern Midwest here, kind of venturing its way up into the Ohio Valley. This includes portions of central eastern Tennessee, really a good portion of Kentucky here, southern Ohio. So you guys in Kentucky and Tennessee, even in northern Alabama, it's really going to be part. It's still going to be, believe it or not, it's still going to be part of the same system that we're going to experience today, all the way up in New Jersey and the Northeast. So like I said, very widespread, really a really good portion of the East Coast, and especially the eastern seaboard is going to have to enjoy a lot of the severe weather this afternoon. So the hail is mainly going to be since conditions are quite different here in the upper Midwest here, in portions of Kentucky and Tennessee, they're actually going to see more hail for various other reasons. Different ingredients. The atmosphere may actually be different there in that region, so they may actually see much more hail than we are. We're actually not under any risk. I believe they're under the 5% risk there in that area. Now we're going to look at the wind outlook. I actually mentioned this before. Winds are going to be quite severe here in this area. Very like I said, we may even see straight line winds, as I mentioned earlier, around 50%. That's our possibility for some damaging winds today. This combined with other ingredients like the instability may actually be one of the few reasons why we have a slight risk place in our area. As you can see here, we're actually in the yellow, 15% risk of very high winds. So heavy downpours, that flood risk is there as well, combined with these high winds, giving us a slight risk for today. But like I said, guys, the tornado risk really isn't going to be too high for today. I'll go ahead and fast forward to when these storms are going to be impacting our area right here. Go ahead and maybe check the sounding ahead of these storms. So if we look at the sounding here right before the storms, we see aforementioned relative minimum in the wind field is around 850 millibars here. Where the storms are modeled to initiate should actually limit the size of low-level photographs and the resultant potential for some tornadoes here. Like I said, a very low chance for a supercell to develop that has a lot of rotation, as you see here in the hodograph. But we can still certainly see some of that wind that we're expecting. But I currently believe that the threat is very low of receiving some of these supercells that have some rotation, possibly even a mesocyclone. I believe it's going to be quite low, given how moist the mid-upper levels of the atmosphere are. Like I said, they're mainly moist because we have a southwesterly flow, taking a lot of that moisture in, all being channeled from the Gulf here, really being transferred along the eastern seaboard. Not only that, but we also have temperatures climbing up to the low to mid 80s. I'll go ahead and show you the temperatures right now. We also have temperatures climbing up into the low to mid 80s here, depending where you are on the eastern coast. Like I said, it's really going to be a very widespread event. So here, portions of Tennessee and North Carolina, really just reaching 80, just shy of 80. We move a little east into Virginia here. We're in the mid 80s here, around 85 degrees in central Virginia. So it really depends on the area. But as far as dew points, we mainly have them here in the low to mid 60s here, especially portions of North Carolina, Virginia, even getting up to Maryland. So now that we combine these temperatures and dew points, this typically results in around 1,000 to 1,500 joules per kilogram of mid-level CAPE by peak heating. So showers and thunderstorms are actually expected to develop during the mid-afternoon hours, somewhere in the vicinity, I'd say around of I-81 or the Blue Ridge Mountains, and so actually slowly progress off towards the east and northeast, and will actually affect my area in the mid-Atlantic and northeast. But most of the storm motion will actually be towards the northeast through the remainder of the afternoon and into this evening, with the I-95 corridor seeing the best chance for thunderstorms roughly around 4 and 9 p.m., which is actually where I am right now. I'll go ahead and show you that right now, that timing. So like I said, you can see here, showers and thunderstorms are really expected to develop during the mid-afternoon hours. But like I said, in my area, more so towards 4 to 9 o'clock in the evening. So if you're getting off from work, you might actually run into some storms here. I feel just really going to see some of that development around 4 and 5. Like I said, they're really going to be going strong throughout the overnight hours, possibly until 10, 11. They're going to weaken, only to strengthen again tomorrow morning. We may get another line of thunderstorms rolling on through. I actually included that in my latest forecast on my Instagram, which is actually weatherman_315. So like I said, we also have that very high instability in place in my area here in southern Jersey. We have around 30 to 40 knots here. 0 to 6 kilometers of shear present. Any of these storms could actually be capable of producing damaging winds, as you can see here. Bulk shear is definitely a factor of some of these damaging winds. This is actually in the upper levels of the atmosphere here, mid levels, I'd say, around 500 millibars here in terms of height. These storms should actually press off to our south and east this evening, giving way to drier conditions overnight. But like I said, they're only going to strengthen as we get into the morning hours. But the best chance for lingering showers and storm development overnight will really be across southern Maryland, getting into portions of New Jersey as well. Low clouds are expected to develop again. I believe the National Weather Service even issued a flash flood watch for southeastern Pennsylvania as well, into adjacent portions of northern Delaware and southern Jersey. From I believe it was I'm just going off memory, memory here, guys. I believe it was 3 to 10 o'clock p.m. So really all that's when we're gonna see that storm development anywhere from 3 to 10. So the afternoon hours all the way into the evening hours. So overnight we're actually gonna lull in this weather. Like I said, guys, we have quantitative precipitation values up anywhere from 1.3 to 1.5 inches in that range already this morning. So good potential for heavy rain as we head further into the day here. We can see a few breaks occur in the clouds, which will actually help further to destabilize our environment here in Jersey. Not only just Jersey, I believe in Pennsylvania we may actually see some low cloud development here. You can see here that we're actually seeing a break in the clouds here lower towards southeastern Jersey, even here around eastern Pennsylvania. Anytime we really see a break in the clouds, so that's actually not a good thing. It increases destabilization, which basically means we have an unstable air mass, which actually helps to fuel some of these thunderstorms. Like I said, it's actually also will play a big part in Cape values around 1,000 joules per kilogram across the region. Also mentioned the other ingredient, effective bulk shear remains high around 35 to 45 knots. I'll actually backtrack a little bit right before the storms. So as you can see here, effective bulk shear remains high around 35 to 45 knots through the afternoon, and mid-level lapse rates aren't too strong actually. In addition to the flash flooding, the potential also exists for some severe weather this afternoon into the evening hours, with the main hazard of being damaging winds. Very small here in our area. It's not going to be too severe like it's going to be around Kentucky and Tennessee. It's going to be more severe in that area. But like I said, small hail is definitely possible. Any convection that develops will start to decrease overnight. So like I said, that could also be one of the reasons why the storms tomorrow aren't going to be too severe. They should also really clear out around lunchtime tomorrow. We see around the showers, but we may actually see some more partly cloudy skies. We're actually going to be looking at better weather by the end of this week. But then again, we're going to have to factor in that heating as well. We're going to have temperatures back up to the mid 80s and low 90s. So very hot weather towards the end of this week here, or at least in the mid-Atlantic here. But the severe potential will be diurnally driven, so that the threat should actually start to drop off as we move past sunset. So what that means is we may have some daytime heating here that'll only help condensation levels and humidity. That combined with the high humidity, we're going to get some moist clouds and thunderstorms developing, including the high instability. So daytime heating, instability, some of that wind shear. It's not going to be too high, but it's still going to be high enough in the upper levels of the atmosphere to bring a lot of that moisture in, combined with the humidity. Like I said, we're also going to have a front come through, a cold front later this afternoon. It's not going to be too strong, as like I said, we have a big trough here, as that'll be the main cause of that, a trough and a jet. But that's not going to be one of the bigger factors. What we're looking at here is high instability amounts, or Cape values, I should say, up to 1,000. So very strong thunderstorms we may get this afternoon. But like I said, the main cold front will push towards the area overnight, really, but will likely remain to our west through to tonight, with a mid-level shortwave starting to push it. I'll actually fast forward so we can see that on the radar here. I believe you see it right here. This is the shortwave we're looking at. That may actually help transfer that cold front further east, which really be in effect throughout Friday morning. That may actually be one of the other ingredients causing some of the isolated thunderstorms to affect us by tomorrow morning. We may have that cold front. We're gonna have that cold front in place, really helping to guide those thunderstorms by tomorrow morning. Strong warm air. We have a lot of advection and diurnal heating in the area today. Like I said, sometimes we have those breaks in the clouds in our area, which can only help fuel their chance for some thunderstorms. Skies will really remain mostly cloudy through much of the day up until this afternoon. We're going to see the storms roll in. I believe this morning we haven't had some scattered showers in the area. Very hazy out in the area. A lot of mist out, so low visibility this morning as well. This cloudiness will continue overnight. Here's actually the relative humidity in the upper levels of the atmosphere here. Mid-levels, I should say. As you can see here, you can see we almost have a pathway right here for all that moisture to escape here from the Gulf. I mean, look at these relative humidity levels here in the Northeast, in Mid-Atlantic. You can see here across Pennsylvania, in the upper 90s, possibly getting up to 100 in some of these areas, across Virginia and West Virginia here. Here in Jersey, it's about moderate as we get into southern Jersey, around Cape May. But as you move a little more east into central Jersey, it's going to be in the 80s and 90s again, guys. So a lot of that moisture is going to be moving up from the Gulf. All being parented by this one low pressure system. I'll go ahead and play the forecast. This is actually the GFS. I was looking at the HRRI earlier. Like I said, we're gonna have a low pressure system guiding this thing. It doesn't always support fair weather. It could also lead some thunderstorms to certain areas. You guys can't tell right now, but there actually is a high pressure system here. Here it is showing up here. But by tomorrow, so we're gonna be set up here in the northwestern southern plains here in portions of Arkansas, really the upper Midwest here. We're going to see this high pressure set up. So we're going to be this along with the trough and the cold front. We're going to be pushing these storms northeast along with mid-level wind shear. Very high bulk shear as well. So we're going to be seeing these thunderstorms be pushed northeast, mainly due to a high pressure system here. I believe we have another high pressure system off to our east here, off the coast. So these centers of high pressure combined with the trough, we're gonna this is what's gonna lead to some of these thunderstorms we're gonna see later today. So guys, I believe that's all I really have to say for now. I was actually planning on giving you guys an Atlantic hurricane forecast. I believe it should be out in the coming days, because it is hurricane season now. Atlantic hurricane season, I should say. It started on June 1st, so right now we're currently in it. I was actually going to do a forecast of what we're expecting this upcoming season, but well, this severe weather actually popped up, so I figured I'd do a little update for you guys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Be sure to like the videos. I'd really appreciate it, guys. It'd really help me out here. So yeah, be sure to like and subscribe if you do enjoy these updates. If you are a weather enthusiast, such as myself. So I hope you guys enjoyed this update. I'll see you guys in the next one.